different lanes early on into the game. When only boots
remaining.
you just start trucking mid heroes. You run that spirit over a couple of heroes, couple of creeps.
Remaining.
If you miss a level 1 Roche, I think you should actually be fired from your job as a dedicated observer. No hesitation.
Could be having an off day.
Fired.
Crit flies up in the air and mind controls a C. Effective.
So, Lumi, this is a very unusual draft, at least for us. And I think, coming into this tournament, certainly some unexpected picks and strategy, the way they're looking to lane it. See Kuroki getting harassed a little bit here as he backs away as their home stacks on him. Uh-oh. Thinking the Stapler might actually... Okay, BH comes in to assist. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the lineups, the overall strategy. They're weird picks, yeah, but it does seem like each team has their clear game plan in mind with what they've picked. Let you start.
I think a large part of how the early game will go is determined by Zai's rotation, because given on how many summons that are available, it's so easy for him to pick up a bunch of damage and run people. I don't think Visage and Shake, they're good at kind of forcing kills and bursting people. They're not very good at keeping up with the rotation of Elder Titan. So I think he is the X factor for the early game.
Yeah, looking at this offlane right now, I am a little concerned for Miracle and the Lycan. Seems like a good Batrider lane. There's not a whole lot to punish him. You've got a support Visage and Shaker. There's pretty limited lockdown. You're not going to be able to hit him that hard because two of these heroes are melee. But Zai maybe could get punished as they're just going to look to auto-attack him, get the Fissure Block, Elder Titan low, but has that move speed. Trucks his way out of there. Now coming in from the flank is Crit, looking to lend an assist. We're going to punch GH down. Elder Titan stays alive and then actually limping forward, looking for Kuro too. This Batrider might find more. That's 5 napalm stacks it looked like, as he'll end up going out 4 on Miracle. TP right back to the lane, so bottom lane
Dire's courier has
looking very difficult. Meanwhile, the Dire Courier got sniped as Matumba Man dives deep to pick it off.
That's something I've noticed about Sumail. Whenever he delivers the Courier mid, there's just a good chance that the Courier just dies. Just walks into the lane a little bit too. But beautiful play by Crit there. Obviously the rotation secured the kill, but the way that he uses the Arctic Burn, apply the debuff on 2 different heroes off of 2 different auto attacks, and ensure 2 kills. Sick play there.
I also like how EG is picking fights early because you're up against an Nature's Prophet. If you wait to take those fights 4 or 5 minutes from now, likely Mind Control shows up, the Nature's Wrath might be in play at that point, and then all of a sudden, instead of getting a kill or 2, you're giving up multiple and potentially losing the tower off the back of that. So finding these early opportunities to me is extremely important for you.
Yeah, finding those opportunities before the level, like you said, but also before the phase boost. Can you imagine 3 minutes in, Prophet shows up with phase boot teleport? Your hero is going to just get ran down simply due to the fact that he has so much more damage and movement speed at this stage of the game.
So, meanwhile in the middle lane, Matumba Man is playing the mid Brood. We've actually not even officially acknowledged it, though you guys have seen it on screen. Thoughts on the mid Brood this game, Lumi? Does it feel like a good opportunity? Should EG be doing anything to adjust for this? Matumba Man is free farming, and Mel seems to be having a pretty bad time so far.
I mean, what the hell is a boy gonna do against Spiraling running in your face?
Beg his Elder Titan to come in, I guess.
Yeah. He won't die or anything, but he's actually making the walk of shame, and Matumba Man is gonna just take down this build. I think the bigger question to me, whether Matumba Man is, because it's easy to win the lane, it's easy to push down the tier 1 tower, but moving forward, what distinguishes a good Brood player and not so good one is your ability to play with your team and, having the efficient farming and such things like that.
Good dive in the bottom lane as Kuroki gets picked off. This Batrider continues to ramp up the aggression, become more and more of a problem as Miracle is roasting under this tower. He is getting absolutely bullied. 7 CS on the Lycan, multiple deaths to his team's name here. Still no sign of that assist from Mind Control. I mean, at some point you'd love to see the Prophet come in. Now he has the phase boot, so perhaps the next time EG go for the dive, he will be in play. But for now, historically, Batrider has been very good at punishing certain melee heroes in the safe lane, and the Lycan is definitely on that list, especially without the right supports to back him up. And I would not call Shaker one.
Or Visage. one of the problem with Visage is that you need to find a good lane for him to get levels. He tends to do very little until he hits like level 4, 5, 6. And I just don't see where he is going to get that level.
Of course, to some extent, I feel like this is a game where like because the rest of the team also pushes. So they're gonna go. EG's gonna go defend somewhere, and then the Lycans either gonna be able to farm the jungle, take a tower. Like they're guaranteed, unless they completely drop full stop, to take most of these outer towers, you know, within the first 20, 30 minutes, and he will be able to get a decent chunk of gold through that. Maybe the Roshan is open to. It's still a really slow start for safe lane Lycan to be getting help.
Yeah.
And it is very much due to the matchup.
I think to me this game for Team Liquid is going to be on the shoulder of mind control. They are the ones that are getting the good lane. In fact, if you look at the top lane, mind control is up half a level, perhaps even a full level over RTZ. He's got the Wrath, and I think with the Wrath available, EG is not afraid. Or sorry, EG should be very afraid if they're going for it.
And Liquid is much less afraid at that time. Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. Is kind of like when teams used to, you know, back in the old LGD International days where they would push with the Eclipse up on the Luna. It was all about like the threat of the Eclipse more than actually using it. And that's kind of true here, where for mind control it's great if they don't fight and he just has the Wrath ready and EG are set back on their heels. And for EG, no Chronosphere just yet for Sumail. Batrider, of course, won't have to blink for a little while yet. And no Venomancer ult, so the push can commence, and it will do so now. Mind control gets to work. Tower's about to drop. The way to the jungle begins to look more open. Meanwhile, that mid tower has been poked at a little bit, so might see that Prophet make a move towards mid soon and try and pressure Sumail's tower.
I wonder how much of the level advantage is due to the fact that mind control has been taking Serpent Wards one after another, or Plague Wards rather.
He's hitting a lot of creeps too, though, because you look at the actual raw gold advantage for him, and he's up 1,300 gold already. So obviously, Plague Wards don't give all that much. A lot of just last hits. How do you like the item choice? He's going Orchid first.
I think it's great, right? The enemy core is a Void. Get the kill on him. If you could get a kill on Venom before he pops his skills,
or even the Wyvern, so he can't Cold Embrace. Or yeah, I agree. I think it's a strong.
I think if your team is having a little bit more issues, you might want to consider things like drums or even Dalian just to help out early, but the team is doing relatively fine. Lycan has stabilized the bottom lane. Visage is starting to pick up some lane point levels. You can start to think about more of the mid game.
Action breaking out mid. They do commit the How. GH gets off the fissure. Sumail's gonna die under the tower. An easy double for Matumba, man. What a catastrophe for EG. Now the spiders march in. Mind control summons the Treants, and the zoo suddenly spawns from out of nowhere. Instantly, this tower is under huge threat.
Hey, we already talked about the Wrath of Nature, and you gotta be very careful with those dives. The Chronosphere committed. They thought they could get the kills.
And the scary thing, Lumi, is it's a long cooldown. They've got a minute and a half free pushing, free farming, where Sumail not only can't make offensive plays, but can't easily defend the towers. But in the bottom lane, Zai tries to get aggressive here. Kuro, two-punch, man, gets the job done. Say he'll have his own TV show. Zai, as beautiful as he is, he's not quite there.
Radiant's bottom tower is
If
under
Script
attack.
could switch over to Lasted real fast. The funniest thing is that our Wyvern, played by Crit, has like 42 CS. He's on the mid lane just splinter blasting spiders nonstop. He will continue to do so this game.
There's likely to be a very farmed pair of supports, right, between the Wyvern and the Elder Titan. If they get their levels here, already level 5 on Crit. Zai's still only level 3 at 8 minutes. That's a bit of a concern as Sumail's going to move in onto Miracle. So TP. Back away. Are we going to see a lane swap here?
Bottom, Kuro maybe a little bit of trouble.
Just not having a lot of fun. Nobody seems too interested in helping him. The Tumba Man's busy pressuring in the mid lane. Shows no signs of support. Universe is slowly getting off those auto attacks. They will secure the kill. This is the no fly zone. This is like the one lane that just nobody wants to be in. And everyone who goes here for like win has bad time. Even the Lycan has also abandoned it. He's just farming top now.
The Thumba Man going in with spiders, but very, very technical item progression.
Yeah, so Lycan just takes over top. Like, I mean, do you care if you're Liquid that nobody can farm bottom? Are you okay just giving that up?
I think so, because look at how effective Liquid could
Radiant's
utilize their
bottom
jungle,
tower
right? Like,
is
it's
under
so
attack.
easy for Matumba Man just send a wave in, Prophet can make tree somewhere and farm. I mean, eventually somebody's gonna farm bottom, but it's okay for them to miss a couple waves. Zai might be in a little bit of trouble here.
GH in pursuit. Nature's Prophet coming in. Does drop the Spirit. Now the Sprout tried to block him off. Couldn't quite do it. The Fissure comes through. Actually helped Zai with the Sprout. There was only a narrow
Radiant's
tunnel
middle
that
tower is under attack.
chewed him through. Back to safety. Missed opportunity there.
How worried are you about the Veno pick? Because one of the knocks against Veno is that, yeah, he deals a ton of damage, but at the same time, he also doesn't scale amazingly into late game. Generally, EG as a team, very good at playing around the strength timing of the Venomancer, but I feel like given their laning stage and early game, I don't think they could utilize the Veno timing.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Arteezy is going to be the driving force of this game. I really think it's Universe who's going to be making the plays, and that's what he looks to do now from the mid lane. Gets the last one of them with Matumba Man. They also commit the Chrono here. Time 12 later, you know, rest of the TPs come through. The Veno won't layer over top of this. They're going to get the Matumba Man kill, but now the Echo. Follow-up isn't there. The Winter's, or the Sage rather, coming through for first the Winter's Curse, and then the Cold Embrace keeping Sumail alive, binding them. A 2-for-1 trade, and that's down, who's been having a great time here. Nice victory. Now, if you're Liquid, you're probably thinking, let's turn cooldown. Time for us to go and push.
Yep. I mean, at the same time, even those ults are down, EG has, like we pointed out many times already, very good spam. So you could set up shop at a tower, but you know, the Spirit comes in, a Stomp comes in, a Splinter Blast comes in, all your summons are dead. So I don't think it's one of those scenarios where, okay, ults are down, we are going to take 2 objectives. Even though Liquid definitely wants to do that. Another silver lining for that fight is that Visit turned level 6. So he is going to start to deploy more damage. As we're going to watch this fight one more time. The one thing that we need to remember for the Liquid team fight is that all of the control is just a fissure. If you could survive that fissure, counter initiate or initiate, then you're going to be off to a great shape. And I think that's something that EG definitely could exploit over and over again.
I do want to say, I think that fight was won by Crit with really good Cold Embrace and went to the first time to interrupt Shaker when he's trying to combo the Void, so really nice Wyvern play there, made a huge difference. Perhaps a sign of things to come that Cold Embrace shuts down the vast majority of Liquid's damage as they make a move here on Sumail. Nice familiar start combo with the Desolator damage, they get the kill. Matumba Man rushing the naked death though on the Brood. This could open the way for Roach, but first, lower hanging. Once this tier 1 mids, they're gonna get it. And I was going to say right before that, but like I feel that tier 1 is so crucial this game for the Roach control, like for being able to take over this EG jungle. Now all of a sudden, your whole summon army can pretty much go wherever they want. The tier 2 top is down, the tier 1 mid has cracked, and so EG's jungle is about to be invaded by a lot of webs, a lot of wolves, a horde of trees.
We're gonna find Kuro. Right.
3 pickoffs here. Familiar's also getting farmed up. This is one of those games where you really want a gold stat on like how much in the way of summons has been fed.
For sure.
Like the illusion gold stats are nice, you know, this is the minion gold stats game, I think.
Yeah, there's just so many things dying. I talk about the Plague Ward, the spiders, I guess the treants. Overall game plan wise, Loom, do you feel either team's done a better job at accomplishing their goals? We hit the quick mark pretty even on paper as far as net worth goes.
Radiant's middle tower
Slight
is under
Liquid
attack.
advantage.
I think I've definitely underestimated what the dire support could do. Like, the Wyvern, to me, has done a lot more than expected. Zai, I expect him to do a lot, and he did. I think moving towards the mid-game, Liquid is not going to be winning it in a 5v5 teamfight scenario. They need to rat, because I don't think they could beat Winter's Curse, Venomancer, Ult, and Chronosphere. So, it's more about splitting up for Liquid and finding things.
The one way they could maybe take those fights is if GH gets a big echo, and he does have a blink dagger coming too.
But that Echo better catch like 4 or something. 'Cause that's it, right? That's the one shot, big burst kind of
Radiant's
thing.
bottom tower is
Imagine
under
if EG
attack.
and Echo
I think the server will just crash.
the game just instantly breaks. That would be giant hole opens up in the middle of Seattle itself. Yeah, really. That doesn't. I mean, Valve always has some new crazy trick. Here goes Light of Heaven with this classic shrine.
For anybody that doesn't watch Dota too much, Light of Heaven, TI champion, notoriously for clicking shrines whenever he can, for absolutely no reason.
And seemingly just like out of nowhere too. It's never like, oh, there's like action happening in the shrine. Someone needs to heal. They are gonna go in now on Matoma Man. They get the lasso off, off the dust as well. But he just scurries away to freedom. They don't want to commit too far for this. Gene now down the lasso. They've got all the other big AoE ults available. Will stagger back. So Mother now picking up Madness to go with that Desolator, and they do get the silence here on Crit. Bar. Do they want to dive though? That is a case. They're not gonna dare walk up that close.
Alright, so as the spirit goes back to Zai, I want to see how much damage he has. Casual 222 plus damage. You're wondering why he's doing so much work. This is why. Like,
yeah, we mentioned there's going to be farm supports, and you're already starting to see a Kuroki as the Visage, not doing so hot, 1900 net worth. Meanwhile, the Wyvern and the other Titan both doubling him up. The winner easy now, Familiar's coming in, gets off the Poison Nova, and munched up, chewed up. He finished off Miracle. Slow attack gets the kill, and now the chase is on. They want to die as well. Crowd comes through. Echo's there. No chrono for you, sir. Sumail gets denied, and with that, Titan will fall, and now it's a full-on rout. Crit has to commit the Winter's Curse, try to retreat, goes for the TP out in the trees. 1 or 2 more auto attacks would do it, but they're not going to find him in time. Brood Mama cometh, though. Diving onto Sumail, they get the long-range Orchid Silence, and they chase him down with the Deso auto attacks. The Mask of Madness.
Oh, the
attack
birds!
speed, not enough. Crit saves the day. Salvages it for EG, but only for now. They will lose 3. They never got off the chrono that entire fight.
Man, GH playing like a god there. Multiple chain stuns to make sure that the boy has a tough time. Looks like he is going to pay for it. That will be a kill.
Even gods can bleed. GH has definitely been the most impressive addition to any team that I've seen in a long time. And coming up, like filling some, relatively big shoes for Liquid on a team that had huge aspirations. And there's quite a few games where I feel like GH has almost single-handedly thrown the team on his back.
Oh, for sure. To me, he's not just filling shoes, he's perhaps even excelling.
He's got his own line.
Yeah. Like, we talked about Afu filling shoes for Zhao Wei earlier today for Alpha. We watched the team fight again. GH, perfect chain stun to prevent this Sumail chrono.
And that could have been like a 3-4 hero chrono into a Winter's Curse, and instead it's just a rout and EG are completely formed on the back foot.
Although to be fair, even if it was a 4-man chrono, I'm not sure how much damage.
Well, they had Poison Nova on 2 heroes at least, I think. It would have been an interesting fight at that point. Yeah, how do we see the game developing from here with that little addition? Now they have the Blink Dagger ready for GH. They checking through the item builds on Liquid. Looks like Mind Control to go back for Shadow Blade, trying to complete a Silver Edge. Nothing else really unusual that I noticed. Wondering when Liquid will try for the Roshan. That's probably the big thing for me.
Sure.
They do have the power control around it, but in the top lane they make a committed jump here onto Arteezy. And as often seems to be the case, poor Veno ends up dying a lot in the mid game.
I mean, it's just the way that you have to play this hero. You kind of have to play forward, put down wards, and just be a threat always, or be an annoying at the very least. And as a result, he's in a very exposed position that gets picked off multiple times.
And that's fine when you have, like, I don't know, a Sumail Storm or something
exactly.
who you know is a ticking time bomb. Is a Sumail Void at 5,500 net worth even is really that kind of time bomb?
Not yet, but he can be. He needs to be eventually. Chain stun happening against Zai. He's got a big streak. Can he survive? No, he won't. Mind
And
control.
while that was happening, Man also running down crit. The supports get butchered. Sumail on his heels. He's going to time walk into the trees, but still being chased. Let's have the teleport scroll, but knows that Fissure is there. They silence him. They drop the Sprout, get that little bit of vision. Now the Fissure's committed, and he should pop full burn damage. And all the while, Man shoving in this middle lane. Liquid flexing on EG now and looking for the additional tower takedowns, but
Yep.
doesn't seem like they'll have quite the time for it. There's still big team fight ults up, and EG supports are respawning, so they'll be content with their victory here and just keep farming the enemy board.
And LD, you were asking, what's the game plan for EG? That is, or not EG, Liquid. That what we saw is just the game plan. You don't take 5v5 team fights. You take kind of random skirmishes in the jungle. Use your mobility of the Lycan, of the Nature's Prophet, and now the Blink Shaker, and just run them over. Like, I think EG is very strong, grouped up as 5, but much less strong, much weaker actually, when, you know, it's just a 2v2 or a 2v3 in the jungle.
Starting to get up farmed pretty heavily now. No Midases for EG. Actually, 0 points of greed. Like, every single hero's gone for early to mid-game items that'll help them take fights now. And as a result, losing these fights, losing map control, getting out farmed, they are starting to fall behind. With looking at some big pickups soon. BKB almost ready for Man. BKB coming for Miracle. Completed Silver Edge is not far off for Mind Control. I already mentioned the Blink on the Shaker. Everybody except for Kuro is getting a lot of farm.
Mind Control dodges from a 5-man smoke gank, puts bottom, and now will start to apply pressure. I mean, this is the reason why Liquid is 4-0 right now. They're making all the right plays.
Tough situation for EG because their way of making a play is almost exclusively finding hero kills or taking a team fight. They really can't just like split push or, I don't know, sneak a Roshan.
Yep.
They don't have the heroes for that, so their options are quite limited on how to get back in the game.
I think if they were more even or ahead, like they can actually just like play it slow. But because they're down by, you know, 7k net worth, they need to be actively seeking kills. Let's imagine for a second that Liquid...
But doing that's hard, right? Because Liquid's vision game is so strong. They have spider lanes, wolves, treants,
everything
Shadowblade,
in the
Nature's Prophet, familiars. Like, half the map should constantly be covered in summon.
And your timing window of finding these ganks is also small because if you leave the lanes for too long, you know, you got summons in front of your buildings. And
yeah, you're actually losing objectives.
Yeah, and it's also becoming painfully obvious that you're trying to smoke gank Liquid. So
a lot of pressure on EG. Like, they have to pick exactly the right times. They have to smoke in the right direction. They have to do so quickly. If they spend too long looking for that kill, they're likely to just get scouted out or punished elsewhere.
And right now, given the nature of the game state, the room for error is just amazingly small. You lose a team fight in front of your tier 2 against this team, you're losing Raxus. Like, there's just so much push, the howl on all of the summons. I haven't seen it yet, but...
Universe does find an opening here. Lasso's up on Man. Can they control him? He's got a BKB, but won't be able to use it here. Locked down by Sumail. Likely finished off. The Earth Splitter secures it. Chrono Earth Splitter, Lasso all down. Big Brood kill, buyback out for a minute, so by the time he comes back, maybe a minute or so until those big ultimates are ready.
I wonder how Cavalier Liquid would feel, like, with all this going on. Maybe they could think about taking Roshan, or, you know, go for pick Mind Control on the bottom. Good Glimmer Cape.
If they want to Rosh, they'll definitely have time for when he respawns. It'll be about 50 seconds before the chrono is even up. But they'll have to be decisive. Dally, and all of a sudden, will not be the case as Martini is going to duke it out in the jungle here. He commits the Poison Nova, but again, it's VH ready to spring the trap. Liquid were smoking in this direction, anticipating a armlet toggle available. Should be enough to save his life. That armlet on, await out the poison damage, then back to safety. So, again, Liquid just feeling like they know what moves EG wants to make, and being able to either anticipate or react extremely quickly.
Yep.
And that should probably set up for this road. Poison Nova on cooldown, no chrono for 50 seconds if they want to go for it.
The Alliance Visage, obviously, and look at Roshan. One of the interaction that we haven't mentioned, and definitely should, is the fact that Howl is such a good way to kind of soften the blow from the Venomax ultimate. Essentially acts as a mech for Nighttime. We saw it, you know, being instrumental in surviving against.
looking for when Liquid has the full complement of heroes and summons all grouped up and really trying to take a big fight. But for now, they're content with that Roche. Do imagine they're going to try and keep the map spread here. You know, I doubt we see all 5 marching down mid, but maybe 2 or 3 there, 1 or 2 in the other side lane. Complete the Silver Edge of Mind Control. Items continue to pile in, but BKB. Well, actually, no. Miracle changed his mind about this. Went for reverts.
Okay, going for the heart, being tanky. Now for EG fans out there, I think one thing that EG can still hold on to is their insane high ground defense, right? We talked about it during the draft, Mana Awards. Crit? Oh, well, that is part of their high ground defense.
Look at this, the Wolf just on the high ground scouting Sumail. There's another one that's calling Arteezy back into the base. He's not even bothering to use the Wolves to farm anymore. They are purely there to keep eyes on EG. And historically, Lumi, when Lycan used to be a really popular pick, Gem was considered absolutely mandatory for countering him.
Yep.
And right now, no Gem for EG, so...
Speaking of Gem, Liquid's got one of their own on the courier right now. Being sent back. Liquid GH used it to deward a bit.
That was the one that EG had earlier, right? Universe had one previously, and now it's just yeah, without the Gem, the Lycan is a real problem. The BROOD is quite annoying. Even the Nature's Prophet with the Silver Edge. Like, you've got 3 heroes / units that are constantly running around invis, scouting you out and potentially. Scary. Now that all that said, EG's high ground is extremely difficult to crack if they're full complement of ability.
Right, if they're alive. And I think, you know, what we saw, like killing the Wyvern, for example, are the other plays that Liquid's going to go for. They're not going to push high ground when all 5 EGs alive. They're going to...
And if they do, it's not going to be all 5 in one lane. It's going to be 1 core in each lane, and, you know, who knows what else the familiars are. Rotation up top, Mind Control trying to make a move here on Sumail. Sprouts him in, silences him, and harassing him for now. Sumail's like, you man. So that he can actually kill an NP this far. 2300 health. Quelling Blade.
Yeah, he's got it. I'm sure Arteezy's gave him the lesson.
Well, all that's happening. The real action is the mid. But Tumpaman charging in, marching on to Zai, trying to bring him down. They've already finished off the Wyvern. Multiple bashes there, but the silence against rotates mid. Mind Control there to greet him.
Well, Wyvern's dead. That's a big part of the base defense. No Splinter Blast, no threat of the curse.
That's the thing, right? Like, it looked like it's just kind of funny what Mind Control's doing top, but that also is setting up for his plays elsewhere on the map. Yeah. And then he's instantly there to join the fight. His BKB almost complete as well, so it seems like Liquid evaluated this game and said, if we get mass BKBs, EG will not be able to kill our cores very easily in team fights, and this Void is just not that far. Bloomy doesn't even have a massive complete. He's really the only source of physical damage. I mean, aside from the Elder Titan, you know, you talk theoretically about how much damage you'd get from Spirit, but practice, not even a max Spirit, and I don't think Zai's going to be hitting much in fight.
Yeah, that's the thing. He is getting a ton of damage. It's more that whether he could go in and actually right the creep over. And so far, it doesn't seem like that's the case.
I love these multiple BKBs. If they get them off, they're just not going to die.
Yeah, BKB is so effective in this game. Like, Void right now isn't doing enough physical damage on his own. EG is pretty much all magical apart from the Void, right? Even Winter's Curse, the BKB will block the effects of it in terms of, like, having your teammates, or having you, like, forcing to hit your teammates. Super effective.
Is there, like, a late game opportunity here for EG? Can they just turtle up, batten down the hatches, and aim to take this 40, 50, 60 minutes? Do you think their odds improve at that stage?
I don't think so. I just think that there's a lot of room for Liquid to grow.
Like, so just building towards the Zags?
Yeah.
Build some item slots here on all of the cores. You've got Benno, who doesn't really... I mean, I guess on paper scales pretty well once the BKBs are lower. Building towards Nags. Got Elder Titan, who's pretty good late game.
Okay, Bat Rider on top lane. Yes.
Beware of the back, but Miracle's on the case. Suddenly Universe supposed to get the hell out of dodge. 2, 3, 4 auto attacks, and he would be down, but the evasion was there from the Solar Crest, so instead crit. This is the sacrifice. Miracle racing forward.
But here's the thing.
The Wyvern is almost a bigger deal than the Bat Rider.
Exactly.
Last was used. Now they don't have Winter's Curse for the high ground defense. And all the while, they're ratty bottom with Tumba Man. Was forced to BKB. But here we go. They're going to pull EG apart at the seams.
Yeah, bottom, the Treants are still going on the building. Top is hitting the building as well. Rat Dota fully employed. The tier 3 should go down here. Miracle might actually get stunned up. His Aegis has been triggered, but he's got the heart, so he's just so damn tanky.
They need Sumail top to take a big head-on fight. They really need that Chrono Spear, but Sumail is not there yet. The Fissure comes through. Buying them time. GH ready with the Echo. They do get the Miracle kill. First Splitter. The rescue.
But bottom, though, Matumba Man's on the tier 3 as well. Now, trading your... I guess your position on Lycan for this little bit of tower damage is not that good of a trade, but
they just did about 2700 HP in tier 3 tower damage.
Yeah.
And they lost the Lycan for it.
The thing is, like, they're not going to be able to get Roche, so even though that was not the best play for Team Liquid, they're just not going to be punished for it. And to me, Crit needs to watch his position. To me, he's probably like position 2 in terms of how important he is in terms of a defense. He cannot get picked off.
Yeah, almost really doesn't matter. The Bat Rider is expendable once he's gotten the lasso initiation. It's really the Wyvern who has to sit back and wait for an opportune time to get the Cold Embrace or the Curse off. And that was... can kind of understand, like, Crit wants to help keep Universe alive. He's being chased. He is a core, but I agree with you. I think he's probably their second most important hero after the Void for defending them.
Top lane here. Arteezy gonna get caught, and Echo Slam hits, I think, nothing?
I think some of the damage hit him, but didn't even get the Aftershock.
I believe the Wrath of Nature just actually clipped Universe on bottom. Gets a kill. Matumba Man's in the base right now. And, well, backdoor prediction is
Base created, and they're going to go bottom for him, and that means Liquid opportunity here in the top lane. They'll get to work with the Enchant Totem. They'll bring that tower down. The base is collapsing. EG having a rough start here at the International, and it might just be getting rougher. Liquid, meanwhile, surging forward. They want these objectives. Have they gotten too cocky in going for them, though? Miracle's got to get the hell out of there. EG hold the line for now. They've committed most of their big ultimates, but the bottom lane's been caved in. But Tumba Man racing towards the next objective as he struts up on the tier 2. Mind Control joins the party as well. He will be controlled for now by Sumail getting the bashes, but all space created. The Treants working on the melee rack. The Spiders working on the mid. And everywhere you look, Liquid are just chewing apart at EG. They've given up 3 heroes, and they have indisputably taken a massive victory in this fight. Not often you would say that.
Yeah, I mean, had they lost a Lycan, you would be like, oh, maybe that was a little bit sloppy, but it doesn't even matter. Liquid now is just pulling them apart. And like I mentioned so many times now, EG just want to take a 5v fight, and Liquid would never give it to them. They would just keep splitting open, push top, middle, bottom.
Now Shrines are going to go down.
Bottom shrine has
Your base is increasingly open to the next assault, and
how many Rexes are left? 2 range Rexes?
2 ranged. Very bleak.
So where do you think it went wrong for EG? To me, it was the final pick of the Void. I just don't think it did much of anything. Or do you see it differently?
Yeah, no, I don't really know how they were supposed to have a decent laning stage. Like, we even mentioned, BROOD could well be going mid, as Liquid picked that. And maybe Veno does okay. Like, the Bat Rider won his lane as expected.
They didn't know that BROOD was coming, like, so I guess
that's true. But
the BROOD was the final pick.
I don't know. I just don't think. I think the way when EG picked this type of lineup, right? They have the Venomancer for Arteezy, a very selfless hero. You've got a Space Creator for Universe. The Bat Rider, you know, it's not like an off-lane Void or something for him. They don't really have a support who can transition into carry. Basically, your whole lineup is built around a Sumail's here getting ultra fat.
Yeah.
And it was a Void against the Broodmother mid. Like, he's not going to win that lane. Certainly not without help. And even if he does, can a Void actually carry this game? Like, he's so reliant on the ult, which is a very long cooldown.
Not in 30 minutes,
And
right?
you're up against heroes that love to take lots of little fights. So I just think strategically it was always going to be hard for them to face the map. But that said, Liquid have played it extremely well. Here they go on Matumba Man. They smoke up. They make a big committed dive, and they try, but already the TP goes onto the mid-tier 3. They're looking for the rat. Even if they lose this fight, Liquid might well just win the game. It's the war, not the battle, that they're concerned with as the Echo gets dropped. Sumail almost finished off, but Crit able to keep him alive. Courtesy of that cultivator, still he's stunned, still he's controlled, glimmered up. What more can Crit possibly do? Well, beat 2 places at once. That's something that he can't do. Mind control puts a cap on it. That's Megas, boys. And that's likely the game.
Liquid is, they're gonna kill Hero now. They don't really care about buildings anymore. There are no buildings. Crit on the run. He's probably gonna survive, but does it even matter?
Effigies are falling. EG is getting peppered from all sides by little pokes, death by 1,000 cuts. And Lumi, you know, I have to say Admiral Bulldog might not have made it here to the International in body, but I think his legacy lives on in spirit.
Yeah. More than one ways.
Liquid paying quite the tribute.
We saw a lot of self-debating from Cloud9. Definitely a lot of Admiral Bulldog spirit in that as well.
Liquid. I don't know that I've seen anyone execute Rat this well since those two.
The seeds of fortune.
Masterful performance.
I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Liquid, but to me, I think the strategy that EG employed is just not going to be able to fight Liquid on the maximum. Liquid wants to play against a team that groups up. Because they're not going to group up against you, they're going to split open. And EG with the Void final pick, the reason I don't like it is not the fact that he can't carry against his team, is that he forces his team to group up. Like, for a Void to fight, he has to group up with his team. I think, you know, a Storm-esque hero where he's going off to do his own thing to actually punish the Liquid might be better. Now, obviously Storm was banned, but I don't know, Ember or anything that just is so more mobile and can solo play.
Maybe that is part of the issue, is EG might have thought about it and they're like, well, we just don't know what that hero is, you know?
I think you mentioned Ember during the draft.
Yeah. Would Ember have been...
It would have been better than this, I think.
I think so. I think so too. But I don't feel like it would have been Storm in terms of like, definitely being able to take over and carry the game.
Right.
Anyway, that's all water under the bridge now. All EG have left is this shamble of a base. Just a few outer structures and GH. Dagger to the heart. He drops the totem, gets to work. Meanwhile, Arteezy is getting chewed up by Miracle. Take that, he says. Now 3 down, Munch through. They've used all their ultimates. They're out of options here, and the boys in blue are going to drop another one on day 1. Liquid say, real. We're the real boys in blue now. They'll take EG down. And with that, they count to a 1-0 lead, and they are 5-0 on the day. Wow. I think that's well worth it.